Hey, my friends. That's right. I'm coming to you from 5D. Just kidding. There is no 5D. It's all a big joke. You know, it's really funny. I find it actually how people talk about ascension and fifth dimension. We're gonna move to the fifth dimension, and really, it's all about not being here. You know, in all dimensions at once. Um, because when we're thinking about some other place that we'd rather be, then what are we doing? We're looking into the future. We're looking to be in a space that's not this. And so ascension is an illusion. Ascension is an extension of the whole rapture idea. It's another false prophet, the Bible talks about before the second coming. Because the second coming is you. You are the second coming of, Christ. Of that knowing that you are God. Christ. I don't really believe in Christ, but the story of it is that he said, "I am the Son of God, and God is in me, and I am in you." And so, the second coming of Christ that everybody's waiting for, the Christians are all waiting for, and I don't know who else, what other religions, perhaps the Muslims too, I don't know. It's never going to happen because it's already here. It's something that we just have to realize. And when we think about, ascending in some type of becoming some type of perfected state, then we're really thinking about that this isn't the perfect state. And really, something in my teeth. Something. Anyways, that really the perfected state must be realized and tapped into. That this ascended state that everybody's waiting for, in 2012, and here we are, right? 2012, what's happened? Not much. Does anybody really think that in some flash on December 21st, that ascension is going to happen and we're going to all transform? Has that ever happened in your entire life? Have you instantly transformed just because some propaganda and some prophecy says we're going to transform? Like it's just a Y2K thing all over again. And sure, there are many things that are happening. There are energetic things that are happening, but to believe that we're all going to just become stars again, become light beings. We are light beings, and if you look at near-death experiences, people, as soon as they leave the body, they realize their unity. They can travel anywhere they want, anywhere they think about, they go. Anything they think about, they create. They meet God, not as a person, but it's never, a person. They meet spiritual beings, but really all they're doing is they're shifting their focus from, they're released temporarily from corporeal focus, from this body, thinking that I am this body, because we all think, even if we have these spiritual beliefs, really, we think we're the body. We think we're I am. Everybody talks about I am, but you're not I am. You're not an I am. You're an all. You're in everything. And so to say I am is the biggest lie we can tell ourselves, because I'm not personally able to correlate I am as the all. It's not, because if you said it and it was true for you, you would realize it. It would just be like the who am I, realize Maharishi, or what's his name? I don't know the guy's name. Eckhart Tolle also, like the sort of instant realization, which is possible, but very, very rare. Most times, realization comes through sustained, concerted effort. And so that's why we need to meditate every day, to get entrained with nothing. And so so many people make the mistake of calling visualization meditation when really it's visualization. And meditation really should be to tap into that which is beyond a name, that which is all. And so ascension is really a real big hoax, and it's the new age. It's another label, this new age everybody talks about. There are no ages. There's only one continuous flow, and of time, and really time doesn't exist as we see it. We've sort of seen that with quantum physics stuff. But to say that there's an age and it ends and then there's another age, it's all just various stages of realization. And perhaps there is a collective, we all know there is a collective, and perhaps the collective, all of us, it's an illusion. A collective consciousness. Consciousness is an illusion. And this is the interesting thing, is as I really look into Buddhism and the teachings of the Buddha, consciousness is not the end-all and be-all and end-all, whatever. Consciousness is still illusion. There is something before consciousness, and that's everything. Because consciousness still individualizes. So my consciousness, collective consciousness, which, a collective human consciousness, and then it might be a collective global consciousness, there might be a collective universal consciousness. But there's something that's before that. There's something that doesn't perceive, it just is. And so I haven't realized that fully. Some ways I have. But the more I meditate and the more I release myself, the more I start to see that it must be true, that really any separation whatsoever is a lie. And this is what the ascension lie really propagates, is an individual. It's you're going to go from your current state to some future you, and you're going to be multidimensional, but you'll still have an identity. And so it's a challenging thing, identity, individualization. But I think it's our biggest struggle, that we partake in every day and every moment. Every time you say I, you lie, and nature isn't going around, and trees don't, hey, how are you? They're just relating. It's just being, without any sort of otherness, because the soil is no less the tree than the tree is, and so the air is no less the tree, it becomes the tree. The water that's in the soil is no less the soil, it becomes the soil. Soil would dry up and dustify and eventually be nothing. Everything is so dependent upon each other. You can't possibly say there is one and another. There is no tree and air and environment, and tree and earth and water and atmosphere. It's not like that. So really, this is where, if you want ascension, it's not going to come in the form of some salvation, some energy that comes to us. It's going to come in the form of realizing that we are all energies, good and bad. We are all people, good and bad. And there is no good and bad. And yet somehow we still have to function in a separate way. We still have to deal with the world. Unfortunately, somehow it's a real big trick. I have to feed myself. If I don't do something with myself, if I just lay on the couch all day, my body starts to break down. I don't gather any food into my house, and I can't eat. So I have to act in a way, in a willful way. So in that way, we are different from nature. You know what I mean? In nature, everything comes naturally. And with humans, we seem to have to act in a willful way to get what we need for survival. And this is the biggest challenge: is surviving, trying to tap into our nature while using our will. So, I mean, who knows? Perhaps we could all become breatharians, and I think that's a little unrealistic at this point. Right now, you have to go to the grocery store and get food. So right now, you have to act in this individualized way. You can't just be fucking great, I feel amazing, and feel amazing and be great. But this video is kind of going all over the place. But I was actually going to make it about something else altogether, and then I just put this blue filter on, and then I started talking about ascension. So I'm still going to post it, even though it's very, very, very scattered. So just don't expect salvation and ascension to happen, because everybody's going to wake up on December 21st, December 22nd, and then the story's going to change. Oh, well, it's a process. Ascension's a process, and it's unfolding now. No, it's always been a process. It's always been a realization. There is never going to be a flash, except for those 1 in a trillion people, 1 in a billion perhaps. I wouldn't even say 1 in a billion, that it happens to, like maybe Eckhart Tolle. I don't know if he's, you can never tell if somebody's awake. I mean, he might be able to. I don't know. Ramana Maharshi, that's the guy I was thinking of earlier. Flash awakening. The Buddha worked really hard for a long time. So, if we really want ascension, we got to sit on the cushion and meditate. And until we've actually learned how to do it, how to really release ourselves, our I am, we need to release the I am, not embrace it, because it's a trick, man. I am, I like to, it's true, but it's a trick, It's true, but the mind can't grasp it, We can say, I am that I am. I am the I am that I am. No, it's too difficult to grasp. And the way I like to look at that I am that I am is I am that I am, Meaning, I am that I am means I'm everything. And that means I am this freaking cell phone that I'm videotaping this with. I am this. I am you. I am everything I resist, everything I love, everything I hate, everything I crave and push away. I'm everything. So I'm the healer and the healed. I am the lover, and I'm the killer, the sinner and the saint, as Deepak Chopra talks about. I am everything. So it's a really hard thing to grasp by the mind, and ultimately can't be. So that's why the work of sitting and meditating and releasing releasing this belief in trying to get anything, just trying to release everything. Release all that I am. And see what happens. See what happens. And I'll tell you, ascension, this rapture ascension, it happens slowly. It's happening slowly. But it doesn't happen for everybody. It doesn't happen unless you do something. It's not going to happen unless you do something. You're not going to be fed unless you go and get food. I mean, I believe in trusting in the universe and all that. But really, I challenge anybody to not do anything, nothing, and still live. To stop everything. Stop communicating with everybody, because every communication, you can talk about trusting in the universe. No, I just have to trust and everything I'll be provided for. But that requires, for you have to have some kind of conflict. Does anybody really think that you just sit and lie, sleep, or whatever on your couch, that somebody's going to knock on your door and just know that you need food every day, 3 times a day? No, really. So trust, but trust, you have to act, and in order for, people talk about, God only helps those who help themselves, and that's so true. We've got to help ourselves. I know my body, if I sit around too much, my back becomes a wreck. So I got to help myself. I got to move around a bit. I got to go get my own food, and I got to get my own salvation too. I have to sit and release myself. Anytime I get upset, I need to release myself. Anytime I become a victim and think, somebody did something to me, somebody stressed me out, or I need to release myself and say, release this Amitabha guy, Ami guy, Who am I anyways, really? So somebody says, you're stressing me out. I should say, I'm stressing myself out. Because I am them. So even though if I didn't do anything, I am them, and I am stressing myself out through projecting myself onto somebody else. And so how could I be angry with them? Because I'm them. I am the one being stressed out, not the victim of blame or anything like that. So anyways, just loving life and rambling on. And sorry for making such a long, unfocused video, but that's okay. And I accept everything that is, and also work to correct the things that are happening in the world that are creating suffering for other me's. So I love you. Have a wonderful day. And welcome to the 5th dimension, baby.